Exterior insulation for roofs has always been a complicated topic, both in terms of design and execution in the field. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably already know the durability benefits of having exterior insulation in terms of really robust condensation control for an unvented roof assembly. However, there's a lot of different design considerations and logistic considerations that need to be accounted for if we're planning to use exterior insulation on a roof. Not to mention, exterior insulation in general can be cost prohibitive due to the extra layers of material and the additional labor. We've made a few videos in the past describing some different strategies that can be used to help simplify the process, such as using a prefabricated insulation and nail-based system like from Hunter Panels, but this new system that just came out might be a game changer in terms of affordable and intuitive exterior insulation installations for roof assemblies. This isn't a sponsored video, by the way. This is genuinely a product that we are going to start recommending, and that's these new bat brackets from InsoFast. But first, let's talk about why a product like this is useful. Traditionally, the way that exterior insulation is installed in a roof assembly is that we have our structure and our structural decking providing strength to the roof diaphragm down here. We install an air barrier membrane above the structural sheathing to prevent warm, moisture-laden air from leaking through the joints of the sheathing and ending up getting trapped in the upper parts of the assembly. Then we install a couple layers of rigid insulation, usually rigid foam like polyiso or XPS, since they have a high R value per inch. And each of those layers needs to be attached independently with fasteners or sometimes adhesives, ideally with staggered and offset joints. So we're already needing to fasten 2 additional layers above the structure, not including the air barrier membrane, so that's 2 passes of additional materials that we need to mechanically attach. Then we need to install our substrate for our roof covering. This means we need to fasten an additional layer of plywood or OSB through the rigid insulation and into the structural deck, and depending on how much insulation you have, the slope of the roof, and the wind loads imposed on the structure, the fastening schedule can be quite significant. And remember, the thicker the insulation layers below, the longer the screws need to be, so if you've got 7, 8, or 9 inches of rigid insulation above your roof deck, that can really add substantial cost and complexity to the build. Even sourcing fasteners like that can be a challenge, and they can be expensive. If you want a vented roof covering, you need to install strapping or furring strips over the rigid foam prior to the installation of that second layer of sheathing, so now we've just introduced even more complexity. Now again, prefabricated products like Hunter Panels make this process significantly easier by basically bonding all these materials together into a single panel that gets fastened once, rather than 3 or 4 different components getting fastened separately. But the problem is that these systems are still quite expensive, and oftentimes the roofing contractor and the GC are overcoming learning curves, especially if they've never worked with exterior insulation on a roof. This sort of leads us to the bat bracket solution and what we've done in the past to implement exterior insulation on a roof assembly with more off-the-shelf materials and practices to reduce cost and complexity. This technique that we've used in the past involves the installation of bat insulation above the roof deck that's sandwiched between 2x-nailers or purlins, which essentially form a secondary cavity space to stuff our insulation in. The roof deck gets the same treatment as the other assemblies with exterior insulation in the sense that we're installing an air barrier membrane over the primary roof sheathing before any of this stuff gets installed. Then we're just simply forming our overhangs with outriggers and creating a bat cavity with the 2x's beyond that, and they get toe-nailed into place. The size of the 2x purlins is dictated by how much insulation you're looking to stuff in that cavity space, as well as the size of the outriggers that you're installing to form the overhangs, but ultimately it allows you to use any bat insulation of your choosing, provided that it fits in the cavity space that you've created, essentially forming your exterior insulation layer without having to use rigid foam. Better yet, you can fasten your second layer of sheathing much more easily by just nailing it to the 2x's, instead of having to fasten the second layer of sheathing through thick layers of rigid insulation with long screws. Much more economical, a lot easier to execute. Now, do you get some thermal bridging compared to rigid foam? Yes, but it's still pretty minimal if your purlins are perpendicular to the structure below. Your thermal bridge is only 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches every 24 inches on center. That's much less than Z-girts on a wall and a lot less conductive. It's not like you're going to have a failure from this minimal thermal bridging. The bat bracket completely changes the game here because now we can use these plastic brackets to hold our bat insulation above the roof deck without having to install all of those 2x purlins. We just have to fasten these brackets every 16 to 24 inches on center, depending on the size of your bat, to hold the bats in place above the roof assembly. This is less thermal bridging, less material, and possibly a quicker installation process. I'm not quite sure about the overall cost comparisons between this strategy and the purlin strategy because we haven't used this product before, but on paper, this should pencil out pretty well. As far as the nail base or substrate for the roof covering, just fasten horizontal 2x4s above the bat brackets, and then fasten your second layer of sheathing or nail base to the 2x. You don't need any long roofing screws for the system, the 2x just get fastened to the brackets themselves. This also gives you the benefits of a ventilation gap to promote the drying of the second layer of sheathing, and it helps to prevent ice dams if you're in a cold climate by uncoupling the heat loss of the building from the roof covering. Now, if you have smaller overhangs, you can simply just cantilever the 2x to form that overhang, or if you have larger overhangs, you can use a traditional outrigger system and then transition to the bat brackets at the termination of those outriggers. You could also install something like a standing seam metal roof directly over some 2 by strapping, and then treat your air barrier below the rock wool as your water control layer and your air control layer, since rock wool is hydrophobic, and then you could further reduce the amount of redundant layers in the assembly. Granted, you might get some pushback depending on the region that you're in and the local practices that are common in that area. In Europe and Canada, it's very common to install metal roofs over a couple layers of furring or strapping. Now, these bat brackets come in several sizes. This is the 3.5-inch bat bracket, so basically, you could fit an R15 rockwool bat for perspective, and that'll satisfy most codes in zones 1 to 4. They do make 5.5-inch and 7.25-inch brackets, so if you needed to bump up that exterior insulation, you easily can. A 7.25-inch bat is around R30 if you're using rockwool, or R25 if you're using fiberglass, so there's lots of potential for this type of product across a wide range of climate zones. Guys, if you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like, and subscribe for more weekly building science videos, and head over to our website at asiri-designs.com where we have over 150 free building science articles that cover a wide range of topics. Links will be in the description below. For now, good luck with your projects. Cheers.